Hello everyone, and this is Tanner Yay, and I am showing you today a little bit about my game that I've made that I just put out into beta. Wow, terrible. Hello everyone, this is Tanner Yay, and I thought I'd show you today the game that I just put out in beta called the Sixgun hack. So right here I'm looking at the PDF of it. The Sixgun hack, I basically got this idea about a week ago to do a black hack game with the Wild West, and just pure Wild West. I know there's one or two Weird West ones, like how the West was hacked, which I've looked at and it's pretty cool. I hope to maybe eventually do some kind of Weird West supplement, just as kind of like an add-on, but right now I just wanted to do regular, just regular Wild West. So I'll just give you a little look-see through the game. I'm not gonna, obviously you can get this for free. I'm not gonna go through all of it, but we got this. I tried to make the design kind of like a movie, like an Old West movie poster. It needs a little bit of polishing. This here, this tagline, I made that into one tagline, so I'm gonna work on it. But all the art I've used in the game is courtesy of Steve Miller, which I believe is an old Western comic artist, and I bought it as an art pack on RPG, and that's all the art in the game, and it's really great. It's a really good aesthetic. I love it. This font, if you're interested, is called Rio Grande. So here we got character creation, pretty simple, nothing overly new here. Equipment, you get your weapon, your clothes, and I also decided that you get a mount at the beginning, because that's very Western to have a horse or a pony or something. Here you can either get a pony or a mule. Here's the first thing: classes. So we got 4 classes we're about to get into: the Gunslinger, the Maverick, the Trailblazer, and the Settler. And we're getting to those right now. So first we got the Gunslinger. The Gunslinger is kind of the fighter, this is going to be your bandit, your soldier, your outlaw, your sheriff. They're really good at shooting with guns. They can, of course, do the black hack fighter thing of healing during battle. And they are resistant to fear and intimidation, which I think is pretty cool. Kind of that steely gunfighter type thing. We have the Maverick. So this is your more thief type. So this is going to be your, Doc Hollidays, your gamblers, your snake oil salesmen. Got advantage to avoid traps, a sneak attack, and then some thief skills, but add some other ones in here like gathering information and disguise, which is very kind of huckster-y. Trailblazer is kind of a ranger / monk, which is very odd. Kind of your naturalist kind of person who lives out in the wild and makes a living there. Cowboys, braves, scouts, mountain men, they would all be trailblazers. They have advantage to do stuff in the wild. They have natural armor, which is really rare in this game, and kind of armor slows you down, so you don't really have a lot of armor. And then they have multiple attacks for fighting unarmed or with a non-firearm, so bows and stuff. And also melee weapons. And the Settler. Your Settler is kind of your social class. This is for everyone who's not one of those things. Generally just like a normal person. So, a dentist, a doctor, maybe a prostitute, barkeep, piano players. So they got advantage on anything related to their skill, their occupation. They have advantage on influence checks in towns. And they have an additional contact. There are contacts in this game that are mostly narrative, but they're pretty helpful. So goods and sundries, nothing real crazy here. Armor, like I said, it limits your dexterity, which is an idea I got from Old Skull Publishing. Their games, they kind of do something similar. There's also, armor here, bone armor, that's kind of like Native American bone armor. It gives you 1 armor, but it's useless against firearms because it's just going to tear right through it. Broad leathers for your armored duster. Metal plates is for your, janky early bulletproof vests, and shields are going to be native shields, again useless against firearms. So really there's not a whole ton of low level armor. It's helpful but not really. Got full auto, heavy weapons, pretty standard stuff. Mounts, kind of added a little bit to mounts. I made them into little characters, so, you know, they have health, they have a save ability, which is their stat, that basically whenever you try and do something with the mount, you roll your save for the mount, and they can carry a bunch of stuff. So, here is the gear list. So we got, you know, all kinds of weapons that you would need, ammo, whatever, armor. I didn't list out every piece of gear because there's too many, so I took this idea from Mirror Shades, another great cyberpunk black hack game. That says just general items, and you can just, you know, oh, tool, what would a tool be? Oh, I got a bear trap, $5, fine. Mounts here, and then we got some services. So night in a hotel, stable your horse, take a ticket to ride, and so you don't care. Okay, combat. Pretty easy, pretty standard black hack stuff here. I did include cover, which is, I didn't really want to get too much into modifiers for the game, but I think cover is really valuable in a kind of Wild West type game. A little bit bigger out of action table. That kind of results in other stuff. You know, needing a prosthetic and losing stuff. I did have an idea. Originally, I was going to include a bleeding rule, but I found out that it was really easy to just, like, bleed out instantly, and it didn't seem very fun, so I took that out. Here's the Wild Frontier. This is where most of the, you know, the rules for the West are. So we got showdowns, which is duels. This is really interesting because it's kind of you make a roll, and then you roll an attack and a defense roll at the same time. And basically, if you did good on the intimidation roll at the beginning, the stare down, you'll get advantage on those rolls. And it's just a one-hit thing. Any hit you get is going to be an automatic crit. And then the showdown ends after one exchange, usually. If you want, you can make it, you know, if the guy's like, you cheated, then they can just start combat again. Reputation, this goes up with good or bad deeds, and you add it to your charisma score whenever it would be relevant. So, you know, if you wanted to remain unnoticed in a big town, you would add this to your charisma score to basically not be noticed. So the higher reputation is, the more people are going to notice you. That kind of thing. Reputation can go down with, you know, cheating, like being caught cheating, refusing gunfights, that kind of thing. Just cowardice. So it's not really, you know, this allows you to play good and bad characters. I don't really kind of give a moral line in this game. Luck, that's kind of a standard rule that shows up in a lot of black hat games. Optional, don't need it, but it's pretty helpful. Language, I think that's pretty important in Wild West. You know, literacy wasn't widespread in the 1800s, so you're only literate if you have a 9 intelligence or more. A little gambling rule here. This is pretty easy. This is a straight D20 roll, either against the house, which is the GM, or another player. On the trail, rations and usage die, really nothing crazy there. Chases, horse chases, you can use this for foot chases, or if you want to do racing a train. Ooh, didn't know how to say that. Racing a train or racing a stagecoach or something like that. Intoxication, so the more you drink, your wisdom and dexterity drops, but your strength increases. I took that idea from Boot Hill. Boot Hill, I got a lot of inspiration from Boot Hill, especially the 3rd edition, but you'll see where I got some inspiration from Boot Hill for 2nd edition. But eventually, if it gets to a certain point, your character passes out, and then they're hungover. I was going to do something regarding, like, drugs. I was going to do things about, like, opium and hash and that kind of thing, and, like, cocaine, but I just thought that wasn't very, like, there's so few, you know, a lot of post-westerns deal with addiction and stuff, but I think this game is very, like, high western, and doesn't really go into that. If you want, you definitely can, and just treat it like a poison or a disease, whatever. Contacts, here we go, 3 levels of contacts. This is also a common rule that appears in a lot of black hat games. Folks and critters, so here we got your normal bestiary type stuff. I added morale. I also added mooks, which is basically just one hit and the monster is dead. So if you're fighting like 6 dudes and you're level 1, you can just be like, okay, boom, 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 you shoot them all dead, and that's very good high action, I think. Got a good list here. I think I got about 40 enemies. Got animals and humans. So, you know, you get your alligator, you get your dandy, you get a greenhorn, you get a mountain lion, you get a vulture, wolverine. A lot of the core ones are there. Here I added 2 tables of just random random names and stuff. Here we got one for making a bandit gang. Here we got one for rolling a saloon name. Here we got one for rolling a settlement name. And here we got one for rolling a terrain name. And then I got a big list of names. We got Western names for people who grew up in the West, Eastern names for people back East, Mexican names, European names, Chinese names, and then we got some, obviously I can't get every tribe, every First Nation tribe in the country, because that's a lot, so I got probably the bigger, more notable ones around the Southwest and Midwest of this time period. So I got the Sioux, Navajo, Algonquin, Apache, and Cherokee. And these are, you know, none of that running cloud stuff. These are actual names without an English translation. Here is the thing I took from Boot Hill 2nd edition. I didn't take it, but I had this idea and then realized that Boot Hill did it. I don't have a map yet. There will be a map. But this is basically a little starter setting. Durango County, Colorado, 1890. Not a real place. Not a real place. So we got got about 20 areas. You'll find most of the cowboy tropes in here. You know, you got a mission, you got a prison, you got a railway town, you got a logging town, everything's here. And then we got a character sheet, and then nothing. There'll be a back cover here. So what? Whoops, sorry. I was checking on my recording. Not very efficient over here. So what I was going to do is maybe just show you guys how to make a character real quick. That's why I have this dice roller. Luckily, these are very quick. I'm not going to go through equipment buying. Let me just open this up on my PDF. So we're just going to go ahead and do this real quick. So how you make roll stats is kind of 3d6 straight down, but there is a little caveat in most Black Hat games, and I have it in here, which is perfect. We're going to show that right now. So I got a strength of 17, which is incredible. So if you roll a 15 or more, your next roll is going to be 2d6 plus 2. Just to help you balance out the modifiers. Well, not modifiers, the amount. Wow, that's real awful. So, terrible dexterity for this dude. So we're going to go and, so then if you roll under a 15, you can go back to rolling 3d6. So we're going to do Constitution, 10. That's not terrible. We can go again. 9, yeah. Not so great. Ooh, this is a poopy character. But we're going to keep it. Maybe get a good charisma. Not at all. Wow, just very strong. Okay. So you can optionally swap two of the stats around, but really I don't think we're gonna. So looking at these stats, the best we're gonna do for class-wise is probably the Trailblazer. The Trailblazer gets really good strength and constitution, and aside from the gunslinger, who's kind of the dexterous fighter, the Trailblazer's kind of the up-in-your-face fighter. So that's what we did. So we're going to be the Trailblazer, which is pretty... Yeah, I like the Trailblazer. I'm not saying, oh man, what a terrible choice. But we got some pretty bad rolls. So starting HP, start with 8 HP plus a D4. Hold on, let me make sure I even ruled that right. I did, I'm just stupid. Wow. Wow. 5 HP. This dude is dead meat. Okay. 5. So we're just going to put 1d8 here. Attack damage. So another thing that's really cool about the Trailblazer is that they use their combat, their normal weapon damage for also their unarmed. So really the only thing they're not very good at, well they do less at, is improvised weapons. So again, you can go, Trailblazers go in, take a punch, give a punch. It's pretty good in my opinion. So abilities, I'm not going to write all these down, but I'm going to write, tough. I will put survivalist, and I will put, and what was the last one called? I wrote this game, I don't even know. Ruffian, that's it. Ruffian. Okay, so reputation. We start with no reputation. If your GM wanted, you could technically start with more reputation. Probably no more than 1, but that's maybe for like higher level play. So let's do some rolling for art, for, you know, gear. Not gear, geez, money. $50, which isn't terrible, but isn't great. So, and since we have the Trailblazer, we'll put this here. This is our natural armor for being a Trailblazer. Keep in mind that armor goes away if you're wearing other armor. And we have a contact. So I'm trying to think. This guy is really not dexterous or smart. I think he is going to be some kind of like, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking of good old Tom from The Lighthouse. So we're gonna name him Tom. We're gonna name him Thomas, and he is a lumberjack. He's up in Timberland, up old Kennedy ways, and he's decided to come down south because he murdered his boss or something. So let's give him some contacts. So we'll say level 1. Thomas Winslow. That was his name. I was trying to remember which one was which. That's a whole nother point about that movie. Thomas Wake. Sorry, dude. He's dead in this reality. Not really. Actually, he's alive. And, so, let's see. Another level 1. Just old foreman that he also killed. Sorry if you haven't seen The Lighthouse. So let's give him some gear. So he has a wood axe and some, well, this isn't very good for PDF purposes. Wood axe and clothes. Down here he will also get a horse. Let's say he starts with a pony. HD2 save 14. So they mounts start with max, so they would start with 14 health, 16 health, I can't add, and then 8 items. And then, you know, you add all your gear here, and otherwise, that is the character. So we got Thomas Winslow, and he's coming down, he's causing some trouble up in Durango County. So, yeah, that's kind of an overview of the Sixgun hack. It's not fully done yet, there's still more stuff. But once it's finished, I think I'm going to put it on itch.io, but I might put it someplace else. Might even put it at DriveThruRPG, but if I do put a price on it, it will be either very cheap or pay what you want, because times is tough, and if you want to be a cowboy, baby, I'm not gonna hold you up. So thanks so much for watching, and I hope this is at least marginally interesting to you. See you next time.